Hello and welcome to the Bert LaMar Show, the corner of sports, health, business, and just a vibey lifestyle. I'm here to share my 4 decades of experience in sports and business and design, and hopefully it's something that is exciting and helpful for you. So, I'm coming to you today. I'm sorry I'm not in a fancy studio setup, but um, this is a good uh, kind of intro into what I consider marketing is everything, or it's 100% marketing and 100% work and talent. So I'm coming to you live from Hawaii, chasing my dreams here, trying to win an Ironman. Just finished a good day of training, had an hour and a half bike with some sprint, or not sprint, but kind of a higher heart rate zone section. And so let's dive right into marketing because I'm not I'm not trying to pad my ego or anything, but there's been magazine write-ups saying Bert's combination of his passion for skateboarding or snowboarding or golf combined with his ability to market himself has launched his success and career, right? So most people, I think, just like when we talked about branding your heart, most businesses, most companies, I think, get it backwards. And that's why it's so easy to compete when you're real. Go, girl, someone running here. So when people, when you, like I said, when something's made from love, or when you see a brand that is coming from the heart, or the food at a restaurant, you can taste the difference, you can see the difference, and the marketing is the same. So there were times with my golf brand that investors, people would be like, "Why are you showing yourself practicing in the morning? Why are you showing yourself working out with coaches and that?" Because I lived the sport, and I that was true. That was true. That was like core level owner, brand, designer, product person living the sport, making the product, bringing it to the customer. And that's what built a diehard cult like following of customers because they knew that. It wasn't for everyone. And marketing, I think, is not for everyone. And most companies, most brands, I think at some point they kind of find who they are, and then someone comes into the company when they're getting too big or however it is, and they try to be like the other companies and they lose their focus and who they really are. So why I say marketing is everything is because let's use my first examples of skateboarding. Okay, so you could be a high level skateboarder, you could be one of the best in the world, but if you're not marketing yourself, if you're not putting, if you're not talking to sponsors, if you're not personable, or whatever your niche is, it might be edgy. It doesn't matter. Whatever your niche is, you have to be true to it, and you kind of have to know that, and you have to stick to it. That's why branding your heart is so important, and not deviating to sell out. Right? Everyone knows a sellout. Everyone, or well, not everyone. A lot of people don't see that and they buy into it. But then I think you're selling by price. You're not marketing yourself as a true, passionate, diehard, devoted artist to your brand, to your product, to your sport. So in skateboarding for me, at the age of 13, I was starting to win contests. I was, you know, having some success. I had some talent. There were probably kids way more talented than me, and there were probably some less, but I was a combination of talent and marketing. Okay. At 11, 12, 13 years old, my mother taught me that, hey, if you're going to get sponsored by Sim skateboards and independent trucks and different clothing companies, you have to make sure their logos are visible on your board. You have to make sure your stickers are clean. You have to make sure they look good on there. And then you have to learn to talk about yourself, about your brand, about what you love, and share that. This was before Instagram, so I had to do it with magazines and interviews and magazine work. But yeah, that's marketing, right? So I was taught at a young age how to market myself and to um, basically stay true to my niche. Okay, and then the same, and it worked. Okay, I was getting sponsors, I was making money, it was a business. My mother was showing me, about contracts and the business. But the marketing of Bert LaMar began. The marketing, of other friends in skateboarding. There were some great skateboarders that never made a living at it and went on to different fields in the world, but there were some that were very marketable. Tony Hawk is a good example. His dad was had Tony at an older age and taught him. Tony used to write thank you letters to skate parks for letting him do things, and just professional and always being able to show up for photo shoots. I used to keep a list of my tricks, but I also used to keep a list of photographers because I knew that's how I was going to make a living doing what I wanted to do. So early on marketing, same with snowboarding, sorry. Um, I came into snowboarding at a fast level. I won the World Cup right away, but I was so good at marketing. Like I was better at marketing than I was snowboarding. I was good in the half pipe, but I didn't even know how to go down a mountain yet. But yet I got myself into a Wrigley's gum commercial the day after the World Cup in Swatch in Breckenridge with Swatch Watch and these sponsors because I was putting myself out there. I was talking to everybody. I was friends with the guys running the event, and I've only been in the business for a month, but I got to know who was running it. Steve Rexschaffner and Bob Gundrum, Gumby, they were running the show, and Gumby ended up down the road becoming the sales manager of LaMar Snowboards. So networking, marketing yourself is as important, if not more important, than having the skills. So that's my proven example. Just kind of looking back on it, it snowboarding was extreme because I was like, fuck this. None of these companies are going to take advantage of me, and I felt bad because there were great, talented riders like Craig Kelly and some of these guys that weren't getting their fair share. These companies were paying them peanuts. Burton snowboards, making millions, hundreds of millions, paying them, here's your 40 grand or 30 grand. And so they didn't know their worth. I did because I learned it in skateboarding. And I also learned that the marketing was me. I was selling Bert LaMar, and the sponsors are going to ride along. And Bert LaMar was making relationships. It's all about relationships. It's not just about business. It's really about relationships and getting to know the right people. So if you're in this world, don't be afraid to just DM anybody you want to do business with. And I would put together um, kind of a little list of what you want. Like, just what do you want out of this relationship? And just be straightforward with them. It's a win-win. It's got to be a win-win if it's going to work. And you have to tell them, like, hey, I love your water and I want you to sponsor me. And I'm really passionate about triathlons and Ironmans. And so if you send me some water, I'll get you some exposure. And if when I win something big, you can pay me and I'll stay with you guys. And you build relationships like that, but you have to do your own marketing. And so to me, the key to marketing, and I drove a lot of people really crazy. They didn't like MBAs, people that I've hired at my golf brand and snowboard brand, and that they all wanted to use analytics and data. So I'm going to tell you probably the opposite of everyone out there in the world telling you about marketing. I say fuck analytics and don't look at them, because everyone can look at them and all your competitors can look at them, and they're not doing it from the heart. So a good example is my Brandiliac Golf. I had every single player and sports athlete and movie stars, president, everyone wanted the product, and I never ran an ad and I never copied anyone. It was because I loved playing golf, loved the style of the clothing we were making, the rich and tradition look and style, and I just stayed true to that, and that's what I marketed and showed every day. I was looking at my phone the other day trying to clear space. I have like 40,000 photos of me and Rory McIlroy and Tiger and all these top players because I was living it. And now here I am living in Hawaii, training for Ironmans, designing clothes in Hawaii, making in Hawaii, and that's my marketing. Okay, my marketing is coming from the lifestyle, a core lifestyle. Sorry, we're going through a tunnel here. Hopefully you can hear me okay. And so, yeah, just do not look at analytics. Don't buy into all these marketing companies. Just do what you love, do it your best, and reach out to everyone. And oh, okay, so this is the next, I think, big tip for marketing is, and I used to try to explain this to my ex-wife. So she was a realtor, and I was so good at marketing, like I just I don't know what it is. It's something about the way I was taught to do it. But one of my mindsets with marketing, it's beautiful out here. When it's raining, you can see waterfalls all along the highways here. So this is a huge tip. I think I could change your whole business and your brand and your marketing. So you have to be your own marketing agency, and you have to be your own, uh, basically your own agent. So how do you do that? You have to almost like step. Don't be afraid to just step out back. It's kind of a Buddhist type thing where you step above and you look at yourself and you say, "Oh, I'm marketing Bert LaMar. Like I'm writing a post right now in third person, and it says, "Oh, Bert LaMar did this today, and Bert LaMar worked on an Ironman training, and he met with some local sewers in Hawaii, and he's working on his earth clay for the dyes, and he's really just gone to town and making some of the most beautiful, healthy product in the world," which is true. This is what I'm doing. So here I am marketing myself here right now to you and to the world. And it's just being honest. Like there's no agenda. There's no MBA. There's no data of all these companies. We're not out trying to say, okay, well, everyone else is selling these kind of snowboards or these kind of shirts, so we better have the same price and the same navy striped shirt and do something similar, in our own way. It's literally, you can market yourself. Some of my good friends are great photographers and marketing people, and that's what they do. If you hired them, they're going to be your biggest fan in the world. They're going to share to the world the beauty of your business and your story and your success and your hardships. The whole thing is real. So the more real it is, the the more you're going to reach the core, the more you're going to have your loyal following. I have a good example. I did uh, some golf stuff, and it was just me and Zach Johnson, who just won the British Open and the Masters, and it's me and him, and out of focus, and the phone's going like this, and we're talking, and he's wearing my stuff, right? And he just won the Masters. The whole world's filming this guy, and he's on all kinds of different, media levels, and Titleist, the $1 billion company, they have their agency and they put together the stories. Everything looks so polished and contrived and it takes forever. And my stuff would get more attention from the core audience because it wasn't polished, because it was real, like here in the car, because it's just a real connection with me and Zach Johnson and my clothes and the player. It was like, this is not, they're not doing it to sell you. Even though I was. I mean, I wanted to sell clothes. That's why I'm doing it. But I don't wasting the time and the money on looking at everyone else, trying to be like everyone else, and trying to make some kind of polished pitch, I guess, if you will. So real authentic stuff just blows up the charts with the core audience. The mass might not see that. So if you're going for the mass, that might be a little different. You might, I don't know how to do sell out mass stuff. So, um, that's one of my good examples of just being authentic, being core, and being true to your marketing vision, and your clients, your customers are gonna love you. And almost the more real it is with mistakes, the better, because then, like I said, it's not an agency um, trying to put things together. One day we were doing a shoot at La Costa, and Callaway was there, and I was talking to some of the marketing people, and they're renting rooms, and there are all these people on the crew, and I'm over there, filming with one of my pros, Retief Goosen or whoever, two-time US, and it's like us and some cameras and some raw stuff, and it their stuff come there, the Callaway stuff came out looking like, like, do they really even golf? It's like they got a model, they got her in a cart, she's holding the golf club a little bit weird. It's like my guy's over there just, blasting out bunker shots and hitting putts and drives because he won the US Open, and it's real. So that is real marketing, um, catching those moments. So keep your camera on you, market yourself, be your own agent, don't deviate. So this is like, I guess the third point to this podcast, I think, would be, um, you have to stay true to your heart and your brand. So it kind of ties into branding your heart, and um, you can see it in a second. So I saw it with LaMar snowboards. When I sold LaMar snowboards for 10 years or more, it was super core. It was me and my friends riding all over the world, competing, filming, making innovative stuff from the battlefield. It was like the most core brand you could get. And then when I sold it, overnight you could see, like, they changed the logo, they used an agency, the photos look weird, the mantra's gone, like the core of a brand is gone when the heart stops beating, when the heart of the marketing and the core people stop beating, right, Jakey? What's your marketing? Just being a golden, just being loving and caring and sweet and playful. So, yeah, brands deviate, and companies, like, I've had people hire me as consultants, and I'm like, you guys are lost. Like, you're trying to be price point, you're trying to be high end, you're trying to be retro, you're trying to be new, you're trying to be innovative, you're trying to be classic. Like, it's like, who the fuck are you? Like, I always say it's like a teenage boy or girl in high school, and like, you kind of find your niche. If you're a punk rocker, or you're a westerner, or I don't know, whatever your niche is in your style, a surfer, skater, and that's kind of like the lane you stay in, and that's what you love, and that's what you do, and those are your friends, and that's where you should build your community and your brand, right? And your lifestyle. And a brand, that most brands to me are like a lost teenager that doesn't know. Like, one day it's like, am I punk? Am I a rocker? Am I a skater? Am I a new wave? Am I god? Like, what are you? And that's the same with brands. They don't know who they are, and they're trying to be a little bit of everything to everyone. It's like, wait, why are you making bedding and furniture if you're a soccer shoe company or whatever it is? Um, so that would probably be the third most important point that I could share is market yourself as, as your niche. As you got to really own your niche.